The Biden administration announcing some new sanctions against a number of individual members of the Cuban regime for human rights abuses. Those sanctions especially target the Cuban Minister of Defense, Alvaro Lopez Miera. He heads Cuba's Ministry of the Revolutionary Armed Forces, which has played a role in the ongoing repression during these protests. The Special Brigade of the Cuban Ministry of the Interior, also known as the Black Berets, an elite Cuban unit, has also been sanctioned. They were deployed by the government to crack down on protesters following the widespread anti-government protesting.
We're going to continue to review what more we can do, not only to support the Cuban people, but also, again, importantly, to hold to account those who would be so brazen in their efforts and attempts to violate the human rights of the Cuban people.
Protests broke out earlier this month as Cubans complained about a lack of food and medicine as the country undergoes a grave economic crisis.
Meantime, we're getting a new look inside Cuba and hearing from a woman who says her daughter was arrested while protesting. Local 10's Hatzel Vela is live with their story. Hatzel?
Christy, Calvin, before we take you inside Cuba, some reaction here locally from the City Commission here in the city of Miami. Commissioners unanimously passed a resolution demanding that the president do more when it comes to Cuba. But back in Cuba, detentions continue. As you talked and as you mentioned, a mother telling us the story of her daughter who remains detained in Santa Clara.
Mi nombre es Elizabeth Cintra Garcia y soy miembro de la Asociación de Orugas Libres de Cuba.
This is video Elizabeth Cintra Garcia shot before she presented herself at a military unit after she was cited following those widespread protests 2 weekends ago in Cuba.
Mi nombre es Maidelki Garcia Guzman.
Her mother says Elizabeth remains detained in a women's prison in Santa Clara, charged with disrespect of authorities, epidemic spread, public disorder, and inciting others to protest. Out of Cuba, reports keep coming out that protesters are being sentenced to jail without just trials. The Cuban government is reportedly using summary trials, quick procedures with little documentation, and the ability of the accused to prove their innocence.
No tengo palabras que expresen mi dolor.
Mom says she has no words to express her pain. Her 20-year-old daughter is now awaiting trial simply for protesting the government. She's calling on the international community to speak on behalf of all the young people in Cuba who will be unjustly prosecuted. According to CubaLex, a human rights organization who has been monitoring the detentions, more than 600 Cubans across the island were detained following the protest. Local human rights attorneys have started filing complaints with the Inter-American Human Rights Commission, but Cuba will likely not cooperate with such investigations or allow them on the island.
Hay personas que están detenidas, algunas por hechos vandálicos.
From Havana, Cuban government officials say some have been arrested, but not saying how many or addressing why Cubans are being sentenced so quickly. And back here at City Hall, the mayor says that he has been in touch with the White House, but one of the biggest gripes that they have with the Biden administration is that the president himself has not met with members of the Cuban exile. For now, reporting live from the city of Miami, I'm Hatzel Vela, Local 10 News.
Perhaps that will change. Thanks a lot, Hatzel.